Once again, Tokyo Revengers kind of shows that it's going to show the dark and neediness of what the hell is going on, basically. So, just like how the episode went straight into it without the opening at the beginning, we'll go straight into it. Naoto's dead. Takemichi managed to get one last trip back before Naoto passed away. He's basically searching for young Naoto to try to verify this, or more or less try to go back. And yeah, it doesn't work. It basically shows that if Naoto's dead in the future and Takemichi's in the past, then he needs to trigger an event for Naoto to survive, which this event is beating Tenjiku. So, before anything else, I gotta say, Takemichi's portrayal here of just complete, utter defeat, like, he lost. Even though we don't see Naoto a lot, it is shown that, it is told here and there that when he's in the future, he does spend time with Naoto, and they've grown a close brotherly bond, as they're both not only working for a goal to save Hina, but to save everyone. Even Naoto's aware of this. And for Takemichi to lose someone like Naoto, someone who believes in him after everything, and the person that helped Takemichi finally get through his issues at the beginning of the series, yeah, it would fucking hurt. It hurts a lot losing someone. But as Takemichi's on his own, he thinks Naoto had returned as he sees a few shoes that are familiar, or sandals, whichever of the two. He does start to ramble a bit about the future, how, yeah, future Naoto's dead, he needs to trigger an event, but he's so defeated that he even thinks, after everything I've done, I guess I deserve to die, because nothing's changed. Hina's still dead, everyone's still dead, Mikey still gets corrupted, and yeah, it's not until Hina comes in, basically tells him that, well, she loves him, and gets him back motivated. Now, he did fucked up by not verifying, because he basically outright told Hina everything, which is funny, because in season 1, even Takemichi has told Naoto, why not tell Hina about this stuff? It's like, Takemichi's actions, and it's possible that when he goes back in time to the future, or well, present for him, his past self acts like he would as a kid, while when he's in the past, he acts like an adult-ish. So Hina must have figured that something's off with Takemichi, and this kind of gives her the answer of why he always acts so weird at times. But it definitely shows how Hina is the best girl in this, because she supports him. All she wants to know is if they get married, which is, it's not a bad question to try to ask. And yeah, Takemichi, the fool's like, he basically says he will ask her a proposal, only to be like, what the fuck am I saying? It's like, I can't help but laugh. But yes, it is wholesome, those two. Those two clearly are meant for each other. So after Takemichi finally gets back his motivation that, yes, he needs to solve this. He needs to beat not only Izana and the Tenjiku gang, but also Kizaki. He needs to finally put an end to this menace. Because at this point, it's clear that nothing's gonna change until Kisaki is beaten. And Takemichi knows this. And I'm kind of good with it, because now we're finally getting into the point of, okay, enough's enough. We already know that Kisaki is the main threat. He's no longer in Tomon, so now it's time to actually kick his ass and finally end his reign of terror. So we do go a little more into Takemichi bumping into Draken as he gets all pumped up. They go to Mikey's house, which is nice seeing Mikey, his sister Emma, and their grandfather. Just a nice family bonding time of just eating breakfast. And yeah, we get to see Mikey's place. It's basically Shinichiro's old garage. Draken and Mikey are informed about Izana and all of his shenanigans, which obviously, I like that Draken gives him the information that Shinichiro created the Black Dragon. Unfortunately, Takemichi, being unfazed, is like, you already know this? It's like, oh, I was shocked. I just didn't know how to respond properly. It's like, they can see through him. It's just, they don't really think much of it. But it is funny that Takemichi already knew this information, thanks to Taiju. But we do learn that Izana is the brother of Mikey, half-brother of Mikey, and Emma's brother. And we get to see some of the letters that Izana sent to Shinichiro, which one of them definitely shows that he was not only jealous of Mikey, but hated him. Since Emma points out, Emma got a family. with Mikey and Mikey's grandfather and when Shinichiro was around. But Izana didn't, and that must have been a big blow for him. As well as, him being the main core reason that the Black Dragon War corrupted, since he was the 8th leader. But it does bring back to something. I've talked about the 9th generation leader of Black Dragon, how pathetic he is, but it's interesting that he was following the will of the 8th leader. They wanted to destroy Mikey. That was the main thing. It wasn't about destroying Toman, since that was how Toman was not only born, but got its reputation by defeating the Black Dragon, a very high gang at the time. So this all puzzles together that Izana and Kisaki, whenever they were in charge, in the bad future, they tormented Mikey and made him exactly how he ended up in the last timeline. So it explains everything at that point of how things just ended up so fucked up for Mikey. So Takemichi's once again motivated. He does inform Chifuyu of all the information, and although he wants to do it alone, Chifuyu kind of reminds him that this whole thing, this rivalry between Mikey and Izana, the brother rivalry, that whole situation had caused the creation of Toman, which inadvertently caused Baji, who also knew about Shinichiro being the leader of Black Dragon. Basically, how Baji and Chifuyu met. Chifuyu has always seen Baji in high regards, so definitely sees that this isn't just between Mikey, Takemichi, Izana, and Kisaki. This is Toman's business too, since they also got attacked by Tenjiku, and it's now their business as well. So Takemichi's friends come in and show that they're willing to fight. Like, Takemichi has good friends. And it goes back to something in season 1, that although Takemichi, when he went back the first time and thought, what the hell did I do in my childhood? He eventually realized, like, Akuna and the others are true friends. And this shows it again. Takemichi has good friends. So they all basically are are pumped up for the fight to come, only for some god-awful reason, we have the co-captain, the second in command of the division. We have him just fucking say, where's the 1st division captain? It's like, you fucking moron. Are you trying to just out Takemichi to possible Tenjiku members around? Anyway, so we have our main guy, Mucho, the 5th division captain, just waltz on out of a limo, starts beating the fuck out of Takemichi, which just shows that Takemichi has quite the endurance to take a fucking beatdown from Mucho, the giant fucking menace. And during that, it's revealed that, he is definitely the traitor that Kakucho had mentioned. Now, the funny thing is, I've never seen the outro, like the ED of Tokyo Revengers Season 3. So when I see that, I'm like, this literally just says who the fuck the traitor is. I'm a little annoyed by that. As well as showing other things that honestly should have been saved in the anime, but not the point. The point is that we have Mucho beating the shit out of Takemichi, and and the others getting captured by a bunch of Toman members that had gone traitor at this point. Takemichi's captured along with Koko and Inupe. That's where the episode ends. Just them being captured and basically Mucho ready to interrogate them for reasons. He's basically following Izana's orders, which is probably related to Kakucho and Inupe, how they ended up being part of Tenjiku. But overall, this episode was pretty clean. I gotta give it that. Definitely shows the emotions that Takemichi has of losing Naoto, but also being reminded that he has a true chance, one final chance, to finally end Kisaki himself, because he is the main cause of everything, as well as needing to beat Izana for the sake of, Mikey. But overall, pretty good episode.